The guy with the, the big white beard, I think he should get an award for the cutest shape ever. He's just one of my favorites. He's so cute. But when he was talking about his story, he kind of reminded me of myself a little bit when I was researching about Islam. I'll tell you a little bit about myself after this. I was just thinking, he kind of did almost the same thing I did. I went to the Bible. I was raised by I was in a strong Christian family. Why? My father is actually a Protestant clergyman. If you don't know what a clergyman is, he's kind of like a sheikh, but for Christians. Yeah? So I was brought up by a missionary father. He was a clergyman. We were very strong Christians, but the thing is that my father was very open-minded. He never, put down the other religions. He always told me, when I go for interfaith talks, everyone gets along, it's fine. Everyone prays in their own way, it's fine. So my mind was always open. Yeah, and then I got into a very good college. It's called Boston College. It's run by Jesuit monks. So in those movies, you get those monks in brown robes. I had those on my campus. They were gardening and teaching and all this. So, but the thing is that they were very neutral. They actually one of the monks actually was the one that told me that the Bible was put together. So I knew that since I was a teenager. Yeah, so when I became a bit older, I was very interested, of course, in my religion. I had always found anchoring there. So when I was looking into Islam, at first I was looking into the Bible. And I did exactly what Yusuf Estes did. I said, I can't look at translations, because English could be wrong. Because every language has a set number of words. Some words you can't translate. Like my other language is Thai. There's some Thai words I can't translate in English. So I thought, okay, that has to be the same with whatever the Bible was in. So I set out to learn Latin, Greek, Arabic. I wanted to learn all of these so I could know the truth. Of course, it didn't happen. It would take too long. But I was given a book that, actually did the work for me. It was, line by line how it goes. Kind of like what he did. Okay, I just want to make that point. And to continue with that point, what I'm trying to get at is everyone comes to Islam in a different way. Yeah, not everyone, has a friend to talk to. Not everyone is living in Malaysia where there's lots of Muslims, all around. But sometimes, we hear these stories of people learning about Islam or wanting to become a Muslim just by hearing the adhan. Yeah, we heard the call for prayer earlier. The non-Muslims, it was very beautiful, right? I feel that is very beautiful. And some people, that's enough for them. Yeah? And then other people, they come to Islam because they travel. Yeah, they go to Turkey or they go to some country where there's a lot of Muslims and they're treated well. So they come to Islam through travel. Other people, they go on YouTube. Everyone's watching YouTube nowadays. So it's not the same way for everyone. For me, it was through books. Yeah, for me it was through books. I did get introduced to Islam a little bit in college. I learned, what's that word for when you're learning about comparative religions? I'm not American, so I'm a little bit like this, yeah? You can deal with me, yeah? So I did a comparative religions course, and it was great. I learned about all the different religions. So when I started to learn about Islam here, I went back to the books. Number 1 was comparative religions. Number 2 was a short history in Christian history. Yeah. Number 3 was an explanation of different books that didn't make it into the Bible, and then I stopped. Why? Because I was at a point in my life where I wanted truth. The same as Yusuf Estes said. Yeah, we come to a point in our lives that we want truth. So I was looking for truth. I was looking for translations. I didn't find it. I was looking in history now. History, I found that Christian history, I'm going to talk from my point of view, yeah, because I was a Christian. I found that it was so bloody. It was so bloody. Why, if you want to come to a religion and you think that it's the truth, why do you have to kill people? Why do you have to have all these wars, and why do you have to have all these battles? So I didn't like that, so I put the history book away. Number 2, I started thinking, okay, now I have to look into the translations, I have to look into other things. So I was going back year by year, I was looking for the pure church. I wanted that one pure church that, the early Christians, whatever they did, I wanted to do that. Because I knew that if I could get that pure church, then it's not corrupted. It's not something that man has put together. That's what I thought at that time. I didn't find it. But I did think, well, Jesus, he wasn't a Christian. He was a Jew. Okay, fine. Some of the prophets, they were Jewish. Some of the prophets, they weren't Jewish. So what were they? They were something, right? So I set out to figure out what that was. And when a friend suggested that I go to a class on Islam, I found out that Islam and Christianity have the same roots. Yeah, when I found out that they have the same roots, wow, I was amazed because every single thing that I believed in, the Muslims have too, but they have more details. How come they have more details? Like the story of Adam, in the Christian Bible, it's basically God made Adam. But in the Quran, there's, God made Adam out of all these different colors of clay and then breathed, the spirit into his body and all these details that just came to life, So this is, I have 15 minutes only. That's why I'm talking like super fast. So that's part of the journey. Yeah, so this is the learning part. That's how I got interested in Islam. But that's not really the problem-solving part. Everyone in their life, they come to a point where they want something. Okay? As mentioned before, I was a model. I was an actress. I was on TV for the first time when I was 12 years old. Yeah, so I got very good at what I did. I did in a few countries. I did in this country for about 5 years. No, but the thing is that even though I looked very successful on the outside, and you hear this a lot, right? A Hollywood star kills himself or overdoses on drugs. There's something about being so outwardly, seemingly successful that actually puts emptiness inside you. And I'll tell you why. For a woman at least. When you're a model or an actress, you are looked at from head to toe. My agent would call me every 2 weeks and ask me, Elisa, what's the length of your nails? Elisa, what color is your hair now? Elisa, did you cut your hair? Elisa, did you get fatter? Did you get smaller? So I outsourced my self-worth to someone else. I was only good if someone else told me I was good. Yeah, I had no self-worth, and that's where the emptiness came from, number one. I was looking for something that would fulfill me. Okay? Number two, I don't know about you, but most people I know are living with a lot of pain. Pain. You don't have to tell me, you think about yourself. You've been wronged, you feel that you have some kind of injustice. People are going around, why is my life like this? I worked so hard, I tried to be so good. Why? I had a lot of that. I don't know if you have that, but I had a lot of that. Why, if I've studied so hard, I was a straight A student, my friend was just saying I was an overachiever, I really was. But why was my private life so disappointing? And why was it that when I tried to be so good, so many people take advantage of me? Where is my justice? Where is my justice? Where can I get rid of this pain? Who can I look to? Because whenever I look to a person, they add to my pain. They don't take away that pain. So now there's emptiness. There's pain. I needed a way to get rid of that. And how did I usually do that? I turned to Christianity. But now it was out. Yeah, remember, I had read too much and now it was out. So now where do I turn? My option at that time was to look into Islam. And I mean, subhanAllah basically means wow. Wow. What I found was exactly what I needed. I found a place where I could take away and I could understand my pain and I could feel my emptiness. That emptiness, a lot of it, was knowing that if I accepted Islam, I become a part of this beautiful, big family who calls each other sister and brother around the world, no matter what race you are, no matter what age you are, no matter where you're from. And as a Muslim woman, you're clearly identifiable. Yeah, you're clearly identifiable. No one will mistake you for a non-Muslim. So people will actually come and say salam alaikum to you, even if you don't know who they are. So you're part of this family. You have support. Yeah? That's part of filling the emptiness. Number two, the pain. Now this one is a little bit abstract, but if you can believe that there is a God, and that God made you, and if you can follow that thinking, that God also knows every single thing about you, every single thing about your life at every single moment. So there's at least one person that knows exactly what I'm going through, what you're going through, what pain, what injustice, whatever that you feel like you're struggling in your life, God knows. Allah knows about it. Allah knows. And that gave me comfort. It really did that. At least one person knows. And the amazing thing is that one person that knows everything also has a solution for me. They also have a solution for me because there's such a thing as predestination in Islam. Everything that is supposed to be is written. You know that saying? I always think about this saying. You know, everything will turn out for the best. You know, everyone says that. Everything will turn out for the best. Why? It's actually a very Islamic kind of, statement. Because we know that whatever we go through, whatever problems we have, whatever struggles we go through, it makes us stronger. And eventually it will resolve itself. It always turns out that way. So there's always a solution somewhere. But sometimes it's that getting to the solution that hurts so much, But I know that Allah is there. When I go through pain, it's because it's making me stronger and wiser, even if I don't see it now. Yeah, so that took care of emptiness, that took care of pain, and that was huge for me when I was looking for something. Everyone is looking for something different, but if you are looking for something that is going to fill your heart and give you a way to think about all the struggle that you are going through, please look into Islam. Please look into Islam. It's something that will warm your heart. And just look around at all your Muslim friends here that brought you here. They can be some of the most wonderful people, and they're willing to share with you everything that you want to know. So please ask lots of questions. I ask so many questions. I'm very critical. So ask lots of questions. It's okay. And if someone can't answer, don't blame them. Because we're human. Yeah, not every Muslim is the same. Yeah? So the last point I wanted to make, and this was one of the mistakes that I made when I was considering Islam. And this is, I think I'm almost out of time, so I'm very much a perfectionist. Very much, I want to be perfect. That's one of the reasons why I wanted Islam, because I wanted to be perfect. I don't want to know what to do, exactly what I have to do, to be good, exactly what I have to do to get to heaven. Okay, so one of the mistakes that I made as an almost Muslim at that time was to think that I have to know everything. No, you don't have to know everything. You don't need to know how to pray yet. You don't need to know how to do this yet. You don't need to know how to, speak any Arabic yet. Not at all. It's like what Brother Firdaus says. You just have to know in your heart that Allah is there. He's the one. He can give you guidance. He can give you strength. He's the one. That's the one thing that you need. So you don't need to know everything yet. Don't put the burden on yourself. Yeah? Know that everything is a journey. Everything takes some transition. Just like what Brother Firdaus said. You can't be an angel overnight. No. Everything takes some time. And I hope that the more Muslims in this room will also understand that sometimes when you become a new Muslim, you want to give so much advice. You want to give so much advice because you're so well-meaning that sometimes it's hard. Some people it's harder than others, yeah? But don't worry, if you have this concept of Islam in your mind and you think that it's something that is worth looking into, please do. Please do. I'm going to go on my side, but especially if you're a woman. Believe me, I gave up modeling, I gave up my TV hosting, I gave up my being an actress to put this on. Why? Maybe I should put that in the next talk, but one part of it is because it frees you. Literally, it frees you. I no longer outsource my feelings to anyone else. My feelings are my feelings. It does not matter anymore whether someone thinks that I'm beautiful or not, and that doesn't have to be my self-confidence anymore. My self-confidence is my own. My brain is my own, my heart is my own. I don't have to outsource it anymore. And by the way, you don't have to do your hair anymore too, so that's pretty good. Okay, so I only have 15 minutes. I hope that you got some benefit from that. My name is Eliza Kim. I hope to see you again. Assalamu alaikum.